The news headlines on Gold FM.
In your news headlines, Cardinal critical of Middle East war as Sri Lankans celebrate Easter Sunday. GMOA strike extended. 12-hour water cut between Megoda and Kottava. Sun to remain directly over Sri Lankan latitudes. US rescues airman caught behind enemy lines. Sri Lanka cricket warns players after failed fitness tests.
The top story on Gold FM.
The head of the most powerful country in the world is sending thousands of people to misery and death. This was said by Archbishop of Colombo, His Eminence Malcolm Cardinal Ranjith, during the main midnight mass to celebrate Easter Sunday. Christian and Catholic devotees across the globe mark the feast of Easter today, celebrating the resurrection of Jesus Christ 3 days after his sacrifice on the cross for the salvation of humanity. This sacred day concludes a 40-day period of fasting and prayer focused on the passion and death of Christ. Biblical accounts state that Jesus, who faced crucifixion on Mount Calvary, rose today and appeared to his followers. For Sri Lankans, the day also brings solemn memories of the 2019 Easter Sunday attacks on churches and hotels. Despite these dark shadows, the enduring patience and mercy shown by the Christian and Catholic communities remain a testament to their faith. The midnight mass for Easter Sunday, presided by the Cardinal, was held at St. Lucia's Cathedral in Cottahena.
Look at what is happening in the world today. See, a person who is the head of the most important country, he has become greedy. He wants to acquire power. He's trying to get power. What for? He's sending thousands of people to misery, to death, to destruction for the sake of his greed, egoism. He says that he believes in God. How can you say that you believe in God, that you love God, and you don't love your neighbor? You create so much of trouble for all the others in the world. The whole of humanity is suffering because of this one man today. The whole humanity is suffering, one way or the other, because of his greed. Adolf Hitler, during the Second World War, he behaved like that. He was greedy as ever, and wanted to annex all the countries in Europe and become the superpower, super leader of Europe. See what happened to him? Even today these leaders have not understood what that means. Leadership is service. Leadership is love. Leadership is good example. But look at what they are doing, murdering innocent men, women and children, bombing indiscriminately, causing starvation to many people, difficulties of all types of economic and social difficulties this one man is causing to the whole of humanity. This is it. This is tomb mentality.
Meanwhile, President Anur Kumar Dissanayake issued a plea for global peace and national unity in his official Easter address today. He expressed his hope that this sacred dawn illuminates a path toward ending such wars. The head of state called on the nation to cast aside divisions and move forward as one Sri Lankan family bound by brotherhood and unity. Meanwhile, in her Easter message, Prime Minister Dr. Harani Amarasuriya also drew attention to the ongoing suffering caused by the conflict in the Middle East, calling for a world where dialogue and understanding replace hatred. Guided by the message of love preached by Christ, the Prime Minister urged Sri Lankans to nurture forgiveness and work together as one family to build a nation founded on brotherhood and peace. In the meantime, opposition leader Sajith Premadasa called for a collective commitment to uncover the truth behind the 2019 Easter Sunday attacks in his official message today. He stressed the importance of honoring the memory of victims by pursuing justice, peace and unity. Premadasa emphasized that the failure of both past and present governments to secure justice for those killed injured or bereaved represents a significant national defeat.
This is the local news on Gold FM.
Parliamentarian of the Samaga Jana Balawege, S.M. Marikar, claims that various individuals are now creating their own interpretations of the Easter Sunday attacks because the current administration fails to conduct a proper investigation. Marikar made these remarks yesterday during a public gathering in Kadawatha. In the interest of clarity, we refrained from dubbing his remarks.
ගෝඨාභය රාජපක්ෂ පාස්කීරදා ප්‍රහාරයේ කර්මතින් බලයට එතකොට අපිට බලාපොරොත්තු වෙන්න බෑ එයාගෙන් සාධාරණයක් ඉෂ්ට වෙයි කියලා. නමුත් අනුර කුමාරගෙන් සාධාරණයක් ඉෂ්ට වෙයි කියලා බලාපොරොත්තු වුණා. බලයේ ඉන්න ආණ්ඩුව සාධාරණ නොකරම තමයි ඔය ගම්මන් පිල්ල වගේ උන් රඟපාන්නේ පොත් ලියලිය. ගම්මන් පිල්ල ඉතින් ඉන්නවා එයා තමයි එන්න ලොකු පොර. එයා කියන න්‍යාය තමයි මේ ඔක්කොම රටේ මිනිස්සු පිළිගන්න ඕන කියලා. ගම්මන් පිල්ලට එක පොතක් නෙමෙයි පොත් 100ක් ලිව්වත් රාජපක්ෂලාව හොදන්න ගම්මන් පිල්ලට බෑ කියන එක අපි පැහැදිලිව කියන්න කැමතියි. උදේ ගම්මන් පිළට එක පොතක් බැරි නම් පොත් 10ක් හරි 100ක් කරලා ලියන්න කියන්නේ. මම අභියෝග කරනවා යාට පුළුවන් නම් ඡන්ද ඉල්ලලා පාර්ලිමේන්තුවට ඡන්දෙන් එන්නකෝ බලන්න. මේ රාජපක්ෂලාගේ පොඩි පොඩි උන්ට පොත් ලියතිය රඟපාන්න දෙන්නේ නැතුව මේ වින්දිතයට සාධාරණ ඉෂ්ට කරලා දෙන්න.
Patients across the country face severe disruption as the Government Medical Officers Association continues its industrial action. The union decided to extend their strike for another 24 hours until 8 a.m. tomorrow, citing a lack of resolution regarding doctor transfer procedures. The executive committee of the GMOA is expected to determine the future of the strike. Addressing the media, Secretary of the association Dr. Prabhat Sugaddasa had this to say, and in the interest of clarity, we refrained from dubbing his remarks.
අද දහවල් අපි හදිසි රැස්වීමක් කැඳවනවා ලංකාවේ තියෙන සියලුම අපේ විධායක සභාව මධ්‍යම කාරක සභාව පළාත් සහ දිස්ත්‍රික් සම්බන්ධීකාරකවරු ඒ වගේම ශාඛා සමිතිවල සභාපතිවරු ලේකම්වරු සියලු දෙනා එකට ඉන්න රැස්වීමක් අද දවල් කැඳවනවා. ඒ හරහා අපි බලාපොරොත්තු වෙනවා මෙහි ඉදිරි පියවරයන් ඉදිරි ක්‍රියාමාර්ග සම්බන්ධයෙන් අවශ්‍ය වූ තීන්දුව తీරන ගන්න. එතෙක් රජයේ වෛද්‍යානික සංගමය හෙට උදෑසන 8 දක්වා මේ වෘත්තීය සමිති ක්‍රියාමාර්ගය අඛණ්ඩව සිදුවන බව අවධාරණය කරන්න කැමතියි.
Meanwhile, the Health Ministry reports that 96% of eligible candidates applied for post-internship medical appointments. It added that 435 out of 453 doctors submitted applications before yesterday's deadline. Despite these figures, the ongoing strike cripples outpatient departments and clinics nationwide. Stranded patients express deep frustration as essential services remain at a standstill. Meanwhile, government health ambulance and transport drivers in the central province are expected to commence a strike tomorrow. This decision follows the alleged removal of 41 experienced ambulance drivers from the health sector for reassignment to other departments. Trade unions allege that individuals with no prior experience in the health sector now occupy these vital roles. The Department of Meteorology warns that the sun will remain directly over Sri Lankan latitudes from today until the 15th of April. The sun is directly above areas including Dodanduwa, Akuressa and Usangoda. Recent records show peak temperatures reaching 35.6 degrees Celsius in Polonnaruwa and Mattala. Meanwhile, the department also predicts heavy afternoon showers exceeding 50 millimeters in several provinces, including Western, Sabaragamuwa and Central. Anuradhapura already recorded nearly 49 millimeters of rain during the last 24-hour cycle. In the meantime, the National Water Supply and Drainage Board announced adjusted water cuts for Padukka, Homagama and Pannipitiya lasting between 8 and 12 hours. A 12-hour suspension currently affects areas from Meegoda to Kottawa as authorities manage dwindling resources. Rapidly declining water levels at the Labugama and Kalatuwa reservoirs forced a reduction in the purification capacity. Meanwhile, Chairman Chandana Bandara confirmed a contingency plan to deploy water bowsers from other districts to Colombo. Despite current disruptions affecting 20,000 connections, work is underway to restore normal service.
Now for some news in brief.
Police arrested 906 suspects during an island-wide anti-drug operation conducted yesterday under the A Nation United initiative.
The business news on Gold FM.
Oil prices face a potential spike to between 120 and 130 US dollars per barrel as supply disruptions through the Strait of Hormuz continue. Analysts at JP Morgan suggest a risk of prices exceeding $150 if these blockages persist into mid-May. While the bank expects a resolution through negotiations, crude oil likely remains above $100 through the second quarter. This forecast depends on a partial reopening of the strait and the stabilization of global inventories later in 2026. A prolonged price surge threatens a broader macroeconomic shock, raising the possibility of a global recession. Market volatility increased further following statements from US President Donald Trump regarding continued military action against Iran.
International news on Gold FM.
The US military recovered an Air Force colonel from behind enemy lines after Iranian air defenses shot down his F-15 fighter jet. US President Donald Trump described the mission as one of the most daring search and rescue operations in American history. The pilot, who sustained injuries, is the second crew member rescued since the aircraft went down on Friday. The high-stakes operation involved dozens of aircraft and faced fierce resistance. Reports indicate that Iranian fire struck two Black Hawk helicopters while an A-10 Warthog crashed over Kuwait during the search efforts. Despite these incidents, Trump claims the mission demonstrates total air superiority over Iran as the war enters its sixth week. The rescue occurs amidst a sharp escalation in regional violence. An Iranian drone strike targeted a government oil complex in Kuwait early this morning, causing significant damage to the Ministry of Oil headquarters. This follows a social media ultimatum from President Trump demanding that Tehran reopen the Strait of Hormuz within 48 hours. In response to the growing instability, South Korean officials met with Gulf ambassadors to seek guarantees for energy supplies and maritime safety. Concerns mount over the steady delivery of oil and gas as Iran warns that continued American military aggression will turn the entire Middle East into a zone of total conflict.
Entertainment news on Gold FM.
Scientists and designers unveiled a handbag made with collagen derived from Tyrannosaurus rex fossils. Foreign media noted that this is a unique creation intended to demonstrate the value of laboratory-grown leather. The teal-colored bag remains on display atop a rock in a cage under a replica of a T-Rex at Amsterdam's Art Zoo Museum until 11th of May. Organizers plan to auction the piece following the exhibition, with reports suggesting a starting price exceeding $500,000.
Sports news on Gold FM.
23 players selected for the National Super League failed to meet mandatory physical fitness standards. Sri Lanka Cricket granted these athletes until the 19th of April to achieve the required fitness levels or face serious repercussions. Reports from a weekend English newspaper indicate that players who fail to pass the upcoming tests will see significant reductions in their match fees. Further, SLC warned that such failures will lead to exclusion from future contract considerations.